Sweden remains open to the possibility of transferring Saab JAS-39 Gripen fighter jets to Ukraine. In its latest military aid package, valued at approximately $440 million, $220 million has been allocated for the procurement of new material kits to support the operational JAS-39C Gripen fleet. This measure aims to prevent these jets from being dismantled for spare parts to sustain the newer JAS-39E variants, thus making them potentially available for Ukraine in the future. However, there are no immediate plans to send Gripens to Ukraine, and it remains unclear how soon such a transfer could take place, given Sweden's own Air Force requirements. At the moment, transferring JAS Gripens to Ukraine is not relevant, as it could interfere with the introduction of the F-16, according to a statement from Sweden's government offices, Regeringskansliet. However, the government continues working to create the conditions for potentially supporting Ukraine with the JAS-39 Gripen at a later stage. Material kits are components from the JAS-39C or D used in constructing the new JAS-39E. By acquiring material kits, the possibility of donating JAS-39C or D units increases, as these parts would no longer need to be taken from operational jets. The statement did not specify what the material kits include, and Swedish authorities, along with Saab, have been asked for clarification. Currently, Sweden operates approximately 97 C and D variants of the Gripen. Initially, the plan was to replace all C/D models with the E variant, but this decision was revised after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, prompting Sweden to maintain a larger air force. Sweden's long-term goal is to have 120 Gripens operational by 2030, with half being the E variant. This would leave around 37 C or D models potentially available for Ukraine, though the actual number may be lower due to airframe fatigue and other factors. Additionally, Sweden faces challenges in putting 60 E variants into service within that time frame, which could extend the need for C/D models. Another factor is Sweden's decision not to procure the two-seat F variant, meaning the D model will still be required for training purposes. This further limits the number of Gripens that could eventually be sent to Ukraine. Saab has exported several Gripens, though the fighter's global user base remains small, and export efforts have often faced challenges. Countries that have purchased Gripens include Hungary, Brazil, South Africa, and Thailand, while the Czech Republic operates the aircraft under a lease agreement. In February, Hungary increased its order from 14 to 18 Gripen jets. Sweden's announcement about Gripens comes months after an apparent disagreement between Stockholm and Kyiv regarding interest in the aircraft. In July, reports indicated that while Sweden was willing to provide Gripens, Ukraine declined the offer. Kyiv preferred to focus on integrating approximately 80 F-16 it expected to receive rather than introducing another fighter type into its air force. We must understand that Ukraine was given the opportunity to receive F-16 fighters, which are far more numerous within the NATO family, Swedish Foreign Minister Tobias Billström told Voice of America. More countries operate the F-16 than the Gripen. This has nothing to do with the Swedish government's decision. Rather, Ukraine concluded that operating two fighter systems simultaneously, both F-16 and Gripen, would be too burdensome. Ukrainian officials quickly denied claims that they had turned down the Gripen offer. "I have never heard of Ukrainians refusing to buy Gripen fighter jets," said Ihor Jovka, deputy head of the president's office, according to Euromaidan Press. "On the contrary, this is a topic that my president constantly raises with the Swedish leadership." Jovkova added that Gripens are as good as F-16, and we are moving in this direction. Meanwhile, the chief of aviation of Ukraine's Air Force, General Serhiy Holubtsov, previously stated that Ukraine's infrastructure is ready to accommodate Gripens, according to the report. Despite concerns about integrating another new aircraft type into Ukraine's Air Force, the introduction of Gripen C/D variants makes a lot of sense, a point that was explored in early 2022, shortly after the full-scale war began. At the time, an analysis highlighted that Sweden's surplus JAS-39C/D Gripen jets could be an excellent option. These light to medium-weight fighters were designed with efficiency and reliability in mind, capable of operating in harsh wartime conditions, including extreme cold, from makeshift airstrips and highways with minimal ground support. The Gripens F404 derived engine, produced under license by Volvo, consumes significantly less fuel than other aircraft options. Additionally, the jet is compatible with a wide range of weaponry from multiple countries, offers strong overall performance, features modern radar and avionics, and has a small size that makes it difficult to detect visually. The aircraft is highly suited for Ukraine's current combat doctrine. However, since the Gripen is a Swedish design, logistical support from the US and NATO would be more complex, despite some NATO members operating the jet. Another challenge is determining how many aircraft Sweden can afford to part with at this time. Beyond the funding for Gripen material kits, Sweden's 17th military aid package to Ukraine also includes an unspecified number of additional RBS-70 man-portable air defense systems, MANPADS, 6 CB-90 class fast assault boats for riverine operations, anti-tank rounds, and other equipment. In total, Sweden has provided Ukraine with over $4.6 billion in military aid since Russia launched its full-scale invasion on the 24th of February, 2022. While the $220 million investment in spare parts for the JAS-39E does not guarantee that the older C/D variants will be sent to Ukraine, it does keep the option open. We are taking steps to maintain our freedom of action in order to give the Gripen to Ukraine at a possible later stage, Swedish Defense Minister Pål Jonson said, according to the Swedish news outlet Aftonbladet. In his message of gratitude, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky did not specifically mention the potential Gripen donation. This important assistance, including anti-aircraft systems, anti-tank weapons, and financial contributions to address Ukraine's urgent needs, will enhance our defense capabilities, he posted on Twitter. It remains unclear whether Zelensky was deliberately managing expectations regarding the Swedish fighter jets. Regardless, unless significant developments occur, it will likely take years, if at all, before a substantial number of Gripens patrol Ukraine's skies.